Oh, hello. Just been running a few tens, try to get some portals this last couple days. So I was doing a Rookery, and I thought after we started, hey, maybe I should record this, kind of, so I can do a commentary over it later. Did miss the first pull. But that's okay. We're just clearing trash around first boss, so I already burned icy veins on that first pull, but cooldown should be back up pretty soon. These groups of mobs do a little bit of damage, so keep an eye on keeping your barriers up and stuff. Alright, there's Icy. I like to stack up a little bit of Death's Chill before I pop Comet Storm, Cone of Cold, and Orb. Not quite in that order, so best way to do it is start off with a Blizzard on top of the mobs, then throw your Frozen Orb in, then move in, hit your Comet Storm, Cone of Cold, Comet Storm again, Orb again, and by that time Blizzard should be ready to drop again. Then you just keep funneling, as you can see on my screen, Frozen Orb keeps coming up, and Blizzard I'm popping down on cooldown just about. And of course keep shifting power pretty much on cooldown as you can, so you can get your cooldowns back up as soon as possible. So here of course I don't have Icy, but we did have Orb and Comet Storm. As long as you got a nice little chunk of mobs, 5 or 6, as long as you keep dropping that Blizzard, you're going to get refresh on Frozen Orbs pretty quick. And of course, as Comet Storm comes back up, we drop that on top of mobs too. We were on Discord, but I did exclude Discord chat from this video. So Icy Veins was back up, went ahead and popped it, so I can stack up some Death's Chill. And you see I'm moving in for that combo. As you keep pumping in those Frozen Orbs and Blizzards, you can get some really nice burst on packs. Of course, we won't have Icy Veins to start off this boss fight, but that's okay. This boss is not exactly a prime one to pound some hero DPS into. So in fact, we use hero on the very first pull. So we're down for another 6 minutes. If you haven't done this boss a lot, when it goes in the middle, you want to make sure you're not standing on the grate, because that's always where the beams will start, is over the grates. And then we try to spread out a little bit and not be in front of each other, so that way the person behind doesn't end up getting stuck in your electricity puddle there. Yeah, that's right, we want to spread out. Oh, it is tricky. You want to get in kind of close for heals, but then you got to make sure you're spread out enough not to overlap with those circles. The affix this week was remove that debuff. So as a mage, make sure you always take remove curse, and you clean yourself pretty well. As I said, this boss doesn't give you a lot of big opportunities to stand still in DPS, even when they're here on the ground. It's not really too big a loss, so I'd have a hero for it. As you're running, of course, shoot out what you can. As you go down, and I think most people know this, but make sure that you hit a bird on the way down because they give you a buff. So this hallway up, all the way up to the next boss, which includes this hallway in the next room, can be a little iffy, so keep an eye on your health. Try to keep my shields up pretty constant, and then you get that seeping debuff where you're dropping puddles, and you can decurse yourself to remove that. Healer will try to get that sometimes, but especially with this fix this week, they may not have the cooldown available, and there's a lot of damage going out, so whatever you can do to help keep yourself in good shape, you should do. As you can see, I'm sitting on Glacial a lot if there's packs of mobs. So our time, our spellcasting time is actually better spent just making sure you keep rolling your blizzards and frozen orbs as long as there are multiple mobs up. Like I said, 4 to 5 is probably a pretty good range where you should be focusing on the AoE and then throw out your ice lances in between to fill. And if you get opportunity to throw a glacial, of course, throw it.
Overcome this trial. Win my fate.
So I blew Icy Veins at the start of the hallways. And I made sure to hit my shifting power along the way, so I would have my cooldowns up for this, because this is where it gets, this is a pretty tough pull. And then usually we'll bring in the next two, or they'll come in because somebody pulls them, and that becomes a very hard pull. So we want cooldowns up. So unfortunately here, looks like I just ended up taking too much damage. Oh, I lost pretty good damage rolling there. That's okay, that happens. Like I said, that pull is not a very fun pull. But I lost quite a bit of overall damage there on that one, so I'm already thinking I need to get into Icy Veins again as soon as possible. Ideally, I would have been here and got Icy Veins rolling on here, so when we go into the boss here, I'll have full Death Chill stacks, but cooldowns are a little bit behind. That's right. This is a pretty good boss for Frost Fire. Just keep pounding in your glacial spikes and get those icicles back up with Frostfire bolts. That debuff that's going out on people, it hits you, it ticks for pretty good, but you want to make sure it gets passed off to somebody else within 3 seconds. You can see the little timers going on in everybody's head. So normally, if you pick it up first as a ranged or even a melee, the next person's going to pick it up as the tank, and then they'll pass it off to somebody else. So I used Alter Time there when he started doing the suck-in, so that because he's doing damage too. After I'd taken some ticks, I hit Alter again so I could bounce back and be back at the health I was and where I was.
Resist. Yeah.
As you can see, I'm just pushing in
And yet, the void still.
glacial as much as I can. I do like to, you don't have to, but I do like to try to line up a Winter's Chill with that glacial, or have a flurry to follow it. So I'll fish 1 or 2 Frostfire Bolt casts, see if I can get those things. And if I don't, then I'll let the glacial rip. I do have Icy Veins back up, but we only got 20% left on the boss, so I'm already holding it for the next pack. Because of shifting power, we can actually get Icy Veins back up pretty quick. And it's not a huge buff by itself, right, with just the haste. But if we can get a chance to stack Death's Chill, for which you really want to kind of focus on packs, so you can stack that Death's Chill faster. But you can get some good damage with that.
Resist. Yeah.
So we're headed to the third boss. We got almost 15 minutes left, so we're making pretty good time. You see, hit Icy, I'm stacking Death's Chill, and I move in for the AoE combo. And if you look at the Icy Veins timer bar running, you can see I got pretty good use of the whole run Icy Veins. So,
if we want to keep going, we will have to go down the storm.
and that's what you want. You don't want to waste too much of that.
Is that what did
Because near the end of that, assuming you stacked up Death's Chill, you're doing pretty good damage. So you want to maximize what you're getting out of that. Looks like we're fairly low on the trash count, so because we skipped a bit on the way to second boss, so I'll be picking up a little more here. Now I know you have Icy Veins up for this, but you can see what pumping the AoE combo and just keep pushing in the frozen orbs and the blizzards will get you. It's a pretty good burst.
Resist. Yes. Resist. And yet, the void.
See, I got Cone of Cold coming off a cooldown there. what I like to do is track those things in with weak auras, and I keep them, as you can see, up above my character so they're easy to see. I have to be looking down at my action bars. I am holding everything because we don't really have quite the right blend of mobs in here to take advantage of a full burn. But I did start into my Icy Vein, start stacking up the Death's Chill, because I know we're going right into here. So I've got almost a fully stacked Death's Chill. And then I'll run to this pack and I'm pumping in my AoE combo again. Pretty good amount of damage goes out in these packs. Of course, as always, we're keeping barrier up. And make sure you dodge those balls. They do a lot of damage. Looks like we already pulled in the next pack. I definitely try to launch off those glacial spikes at opportune moments. And certainly once you work that pack down to 2 or 3 mobs, then you can get some good value out of glacial spike because of the cleave.
Resist. Yes. Resist. And yet, the void still grows.
Usually not too shy about throwing out those frozen orbs, even if I didn't even get full value of it on that last mob because it was almost dead, but we can get the frozen orb back up pretty quick. Of course, I popped Icy again, stacked up that Death's Chill, and moved in for the combo, and now I will just keep rolling. See, right there, after you've thrown Frozen Orb and gotten your Blizzard down again, you got about 3-4 seconds. And if you've got Glacial ready to go, you got a Winter's Chill up. That's a great time to launch that off if you can. Said these packs are actually a little bit dangerous, so you want to be careful with your health and watch how much damage you're taking in. As we finish off this last trash pack and the boss will come out, it'll push us back away from the boss, so you never want to be off to the left there to get knocked off, and then you can get back up, but you got to run all the way back to how we got up here. So you got to trudge through the water there, and then it just takes a little while. And go back up the ramp and come around. Oh, it looks like I actually got Icy Veins up, Trinkets up. Everything's good to go for the boss. Almost every single time I've been here, that boss will get pulled immediately. Just be ready for that. Personally, since mages have mobility, I like to go to the right side because it'll be the farthest away from where we are. a lot of damage going out during this fight too, so once again, be aware of your health. You can see there I fished a little bit to get the flurry proc actually look like. Make sure I crit that glacial. As I understand, like I said, you don't actually need necessarily to make sure that your glacial is always going into Winter's Chill like we used to, but it's an old habit. Maybe I was doing something wrong, but I did try to cleanse that corruption off of myself, but I'm thinking it's a magic. Yeah, that looks like a magic debuff because it's blue, so we can't actually pull that off ourselves. So that one, you can see where I've dropped my puddles. I'll try to scoot in closer to the boss because the healer's probably somewhere in the center. You want to make sure you stay in range, not just for that dispel, but for heals as well.
Overcome.
But of course you want to be particularly careful in those phases where you got to move out of the big circles on the ground and then go get the pillars, because oftentimes you're going to be out of range of that healer, so you need to be responsible for yourself.
Overcome this trial. Win my faith.
And there we go. I think I already had the portal for this one actually, but we did get one of our guildies a portal. Yep. So there's a run through Rookery and kind of what I was doing along the way. A lot of keeping yourself protected as much as you can. Our barriers are pretty strong, and especially if you take the couple talent points that will heal you back for a little bit of the damage that those barriers absorb. It can do a lot to keep you alive throughout a run. I don't think, did I die during? Oh, I did die during that run once, but still, that's not too bad. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that little commentary on the run. I know Rookery 10 is not nearly like the big keys I see some of the people doing out there now, but it's still pretty fun stuff. So if you're still working on building your keys up, hopefully you picked up a few tips. I'll catch you guys on the next one.